Hello everyone, my name is Winston Churchill, and welcome back to Flanky Tanks. Today we talk about the Centurion Action 10, the FE4202 Premium, the normal FE4202 which used to be a tier 10 which is now gone because it was totally unbalanced and not actually real, and some other wargaming shenanigans. But first let's start at the usual, and I don't know what the usual is, but there won't be one ever. Anyways, you will see me driving the Centurion Action 10 twice in today's video. I've got two games for you. It's a lovely game, it's a lovely day, it's a lovely tank. All is great. But I'm here to talk about the grind and why the grind for the FE4202 Premium happened and why Wargaming decided to switch the FE4202 tier 10 for the Centurion Action 10. You know, it will all make sense in the long run, and maybe it doesn't, but because we're talking about Wargaming here. So anyway, it was the beginning of 2014. Wargaming was sort of hinting at the fact that they wanted to replace the FE4202 and the FE215B with better tanks. Now, they weren't announced what the better tanks would be, it wasn't announced when it would happen, it wasn't announced what would happen to the tanks that would be replaced. They were just hinting at these tanks might be replaced in the near future. And you know, we all know Wargaming, near future means whenever the hell we want. But why do they want to replace two tier 10 vehicles? Well, the FE215B is actually not a real tank. It was sort of made up by Wargaming to fit the tier 10 place in the heavy line. And the FE4202 did actually exist, but it is severely overbuffed to be a tier 10. In real life, it did not have the 105mm gun. In real life, the frontal hull armor was not 121mm, but it's actually more like 50, I think, or something like that. Its turret wasn't as well armored as well, and actually Wargaming didn't take exact measurements of the FE4202. They just took some drawings and some blueprints and then made a tank out of that. So the whole FE4202 at tier 10 was a real tank, but it was severely overbuffed, and it didn't actually, well, was an FE4202 anymore at that point. Finally, a few months later, they decided, yes, the FE4202 is going to be replaced. And yes, the FE215B is going to be replaced. By what? We don't know yet. There was some speculation saying maybe the FE4202 will get replaced by the Chieftain. Which doesn't make sense at all, because you cannot replace a medium with a heavy tank. Except for the T57 Heavy and the T54E1 Wargaming. Anyway, because it would be stupid to switch from a medium to a heavy tank mid or at the end of the line, wouldn't it be? But Wargaming did say the FE4202, when it does get removed, will become a premium tank. And then people started thinking back of when the T30 and the T34 were replaced with the T135 and the M103. The T30 became the tier 9 American TD, and the T34, which used to be a tier 9 American heavy tank, turned into a tier 8 American premium. And if you had the T34 as a tier 9 American medium heavy tank, you would get the T34 American heavy tank as a premium for free. So a lot of people started thinking, I must get the FE4202. But Wargaming never actually said it will be a free FE4202. They were still deciding if they wanted to do it, but they never said for sure, yes, it's going to be free. The best we got of an answer was that it was going to get a mission. You know, like the seasonal missions we have, the personal missions for the T55A, for example. They're going to be missions to get it if you have the Centurion or the replacement for the FE4202 in your garage. Well, lo and behold, 2 years later, we are finally at the stage where the missions for the FE4202 have happened. And they are still happening right now. And they have, I think, till... what is it? Sunday? Yes, Sunday. It says the 29th of February, but that's like 7 in the morning, and you're not going to be like, I must get the mission, so let me wake up at 4. No, you're not going to do that unless you're really weird. Yeah, that was creepy. I'm never going to do that again. But, you know, it was fun trying it. You know, it's a nice backstory about the FE4202, but what about the FE215B? No idea. Wargaming is still deciding what they want to do with it. They have made the Chieftain, but they took the wrong model and made the Chieftain Mark 6 instead of the Chieftain Mark 2, which I think they wanted. And they are not happy with the way it plays, and we've seen on QB's channel the gameplay on it. It's completely overpowered. Its rate of fire is far too good. Its armor actually does work. Its lower plate, you know, it can bounce still the occasional shot. But yeah, Wargaming has not decided what they want to do with the FE215B yet. And I am completely fine with that. Let Wargaming have their time with what they want to decide on what to do on that tank. as long as it's not going to be a Clan Wars reward tank. Why is that a bad plan? It's a very, very iconic tank. A lot of people are very much looking forward to getting the Chieftain Mark 6, or just a Chieftain. And if it's going to be a Clan Wars reward tank, a massive, massive outcry of hatred will come from the community. I might be able to get one if I play Clan Wars at that point. I think it's a really bad plan if they do decide to make it a Clan Wars reward tank. But hey, I trust Wargaming to make the right decision. We will see in the future.
Well, what is the mission, Floppy Flip? What do I have to do to get the FE4202 Premium?
It's not that difficult of a mission, actually. You have to do 450,000 damage in Tier 8, 9 and 10 vehicles over a period of 2 weeks. That comes down to 32,000 damage a day, which is not bad, but if you have a day job and maybe school, that will become really, really difficult. The second part of the mission is a bit easier. All you have to do is get 750 experience base in the Centurion Action 10. That is a problem because it flooded the matchmaking. As you saw this match, there were a lot of Centurion Action 10s in there. There was a picture on Rita's blog on the Russian server of a game with 30 Centurion Action 10s. And you know what? I was one of those people that was like,
I must get the FE4202.
Because I wanted to get the FE4202 Premium. That might sound really, really stupid, but I did not have any Tier 8 or any Tier whatever premiums at that point. I was a scrub. I was a tomato. I was learning how to play World of Tanks at that point still. I started grinding maybe a month or two after they announced that maybe we might replace the FE4202 and it might become a premium. And so I did. I set off my voyage for, at that point, the FE4202. And I found some pictures back of me in matchmaking, playing maybe a Covenanter, and like with really low stats. If you would compare it to today, I have 1700 something WN8. And I worked towards that. I'm really surprised to see that progress, because at that point I also started watching QB stream. You know, I was still learning how to play the game. I was one of just the many viewers that QB would get at that point, and I was one of you guys. Oh my god, it sounds like I feel like I'm better than you guys, because I'm not. I'm just another player in World of Tanks.
Forgive me, for I have sinned.
But you know what I mean, right? I was one of the many viewers that QB would get. I did not know him. I never talked to him. When I came in for the first time into the stream, it took me like 2 months to figure out who Ike, Jingles and Peppy were. I didn't know anything. I started off just another viewer on Twitch. And things have gone weird that I now platoon with him regularly on Thursday, but hey, that's a thing for another time, for another story, maybe around Tankfest, who knows. So yeah, I was grinding that line, and everyone knows that, you know, the first tiers, maybe until tier 5, go pretty fast. They are, you can do them, you know, without a premium account, without, what's it called, free experience, without all that. You can do it in maybe a week. It will take a week to get to tier 5, maybe a bit longer, depends on how, you know, how often you play. But I was playing the first tiers relatively easily, and then I came to the Covenanter, and I really actually enjoyed the Covenanter. And here's a picture of me playing the Covenanter. 7k games, half of which I have now, 1063 WN8, 49% wins. Now I did blur out my previous clan because you know, the place where I live is actually in the clan name, so
shoot, don't go away, no, don't go to my house, no, go away.
Actually, I don't live there anymore, but I still don't want you to know, because
go away, no, should go, no, should go, need no house, go.
And so I kept playing, and sure enough, I would eventually get to, like, the Cromwell, and I really enjoyed the Cromwell. I never thought I would enjoy a fast-firing, low-alpha, high-DPM gun, because in my mind, I was still thinking, high alpha is best alpha. You win games, you shoot, you pull back, you control the pace of the engagement. No, not per se. If you can have time to flank. You know, I learned how to flank during that grind. I learned how to play medium tanks during that grind. Playing the actual line taught me how to play medium tanks. How awesome is that? World of Tanks taught me something. Playing the game. Never expected that would happen. You know, there's the comment, we're not going to talk about the comment, and there's the Centurion 1. I did not enjoy the Centurion 1. I'm going to say it now. I did not enjoy it. I did not hate it. I just did not enjoy it. It has a very low DPM. It has a high penetration gun. Yes, the 20 pounder is high penetration. It's fairly okay-ish accurate actually. But its DPM is just really, really bad. I never had really big games. Maybe twice I had my ace and that's it. I did not enjoy it. Then there was the Centurion 7-1. Wow, is that a tank? That is a really, really good tank. And I gained maybe... actually, here's a picture of me playing the Centurion 7-1 not long after I've gotten it. I improved gameplay-wise, not only because I was watching QB, but I was learning how to play the game in a different way. If you played your whole career at that point, TDs and heavies, you don't know what mediums are capable of. You don't know how to... what's it called? Stop mediums from doing their thing. You know? You learn how to play the game by playing the game, and you learn how to... Well, that makes sense actually. Play the game by playing the game, blah 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 blah. But you learn how to deny people from making their plays against you as well. Making you being able to make plays on them, and so on. At that point I also had my E75 and my Yak Tiger. My Centurion 7-1 was my third tier 9 tank, and I really enjoyed it. And at that point I always thought, why should I buy a tier 10? The whole fun is the grind, isn't it? You are working towards that one thing you want, and if you buy a tier 10, where is the fun? You don't have anything to work for, you don't have anything to grind for, that's it, that's the end of the line, fun, gone. But I did buy my FE4202 because I wanted the premium. And I did really enjoy my FE4202 because it was different. It was a different medium than all the conventional ones. You had the Patton, you had the STB1, you had just the sort of... Okay, not the Batch Chat maybe, wow. But it was different. It had a low profile, it was a small tank, it was relatively slow at 40 kilometers an hour top speed. But it was bouncy. Its hull being overbuffed as all hell made me bounce inadvertently my 10,000th game in World of Tanks. Bounced an FV215B 1A3 shot, he was firing AP for some reason, twice. He bounced twice off my upper plate. I don't know if that's the magic of the FE4202, or my 10,000 game, or a really bad 1A3 player.